Hi, welcome. It's day one of our daily movement challenge. Congratulations. I hope you're here with me. And if you're not live, I'll always check this out after in the recordings. I wanted to start today by giving you a little bit of a tutorial and a kind of like a walkthrough of all the other resources that we're kind of pouring into this daily movement challenge to help get you started. And I'm going to start by saying that there's two places where you can get everything that you need for the daily movement challenge. One is on our website, and I'll post the link below. But you also have that if you've already signed up, you have the link to that page. That is the place where you can always go. It's linked to every single email that you get. Every single day, you're going to get an email from me that has, I hope you can see, and I hope I'm in focus. We're having like I'm having some weird tech issues that I don't normally have this week. So apologies if I'm fuzzy. That might just be something that it's showing up for me. Anyway, so in your email every single day, you have a link to the website, and you'll see that in the emails. I already set them all up. They're ready to go. You're going to get them at 5 a.m. every day this week. So you can practice at any time. You can wake up at 5 a.m. and get your 15-minute practice in at the very beginning of the day. I typically recommend starting with the practice first thing in the morning or right after breakfast or whenever it is that you have like an anchor moment before you start to get into your day, because then it's done and you know it's done and it's not hanging on you for the rest of the day. But if you're more of an evening person, you can kind of set it in your mind. I'm going to do this at the end of the day. I'm going to do this right after I'm done with work. Whatever it is that's going to work for you. So you have the link to the web page where we have all the practices for the 5-day challenge. That is not like, doesn't need a password or anything like that. You can just get in there and do it. Second, every single day in your email, you're going to have a link to the video. They're all on our YouTube channel, so you can actually just go to our YouTube channel if you want and do them in the playlist that they're in. You'll be able to see them there. And what else do I want to tell you about that? Yeah, if you're on our YouTube channel, obviously make sure to like, subscribe to the channel. That really helps us as a studio to get the word out and to improve our page ranking and everything else. What else do I want to tell you? And then the third thing is, and I'm trying to do this, but it's taking a long time to upload. So I am uploading the videos for every single day also to our Facebook group. So you'll also have them here. But it takes some time to upload. So I can only do one at a time, and it's going to take some time to get them all up. But I will get up day one in this group today. I know none of this is like really exciting for any of you. And then the last thing is, that you'll be able to see there's two different ways to find all the content for this challenge in the Facebook group. One is that you'll see it if you go over to the right of the Facebook page, you'll see popular topics in posts, and you can see it says 5-day daily challenge. That's like a way that we're tagging all the posts so you can find them there. I also created a guide, and if you look at the top of and I wish I could share my screen with you, but I don't think I can. These are all fun new things for me. Okay. So it doesn't look like I can share it, but if you go into our Facebook group and you go down, you'll be able to see, this is one of the benefits of Zoom versus Facebook Live directly. You'll be able to see that there's a tab up top. It says about, it says discussion, and it'll say guides and announcements. You can go into the guides section, and if you click on that, then you will see that I created a 5-day daily challenge guide. It's guide number 1. It has, and I tried to put them in order. So it says, welcome to the daily challenge. There's a kickoff call. Let's get started. And then number 4 is a link to all of the classes that are also in our YouTube channel. So this is just another way to find all of the classes that you need for this daily challenge. And if you haven't signed up yet and you're seeing this video, then you can also click on there should be a link to sign up if you haven't done that yet. So I think that's all the logistics. Not super exciting, but it's really important to know and understand and know that there's a bunch of different ways that you can get this practice in. So if for some reason you can't make it or you can't find it through one channel, you will be able to find it either by going to our Facebook group or going to our YouTube channel or clicking on the link in your email. So that's that. So today I wanted to kick off this challenge by talking a bit about stacking in a daily habit, and I kind of alluded to this earlier when I was talking about when is a time in which is like good to set up your practice. If you're not used to daily practice, if yoga is there used to be this school of thought, and this is kind of how the yoga industry has shifted over time. The yoga studio model, where you had to go into the studio to practice class, is kind of like an outdated way in which we now don't really practice that way anymore. And when we went into the studio and did our daily practices there, they were typically 60 minutes to 75 minutes to 90 minutes long. And it was really like at least a 2 hour investment of time. That made it really inaccessible for a lot of people to be able to practice on a regular basis. So people built in this habit, just kind of like our culturally, we built in this habit of occasionally going to yoga classes and letting them be kind of like a supplement to well-being and to caring for oneself. In the new way of practicing, where we have all of these virtual resources and all these different ways of practicing, there are a lot of other ways in which we can practice on a daily basis, and they're a lot more accessible, but they do require a change in habit. And I think that's really important to understand. Is that when we are now doing yoga at home, virtually with a studio, it can feel like it's hard, right? We can have a lot of objections about it because it's not a habit that we have yet built in. And so when you're aware of that, okay, like what is my objection? What's going on? And the objection could be something like, I don't have time, I don't have the right physical space, I don't have the right tools, I don't have the right props. It's just hard for me to focus at home. It's really hard for me to show up here. I want you to take all those objections, right? All those reasons why you can't, and just kind of put them to the side for a moment. And with this daily challenge, we're doing 15 minutes of practice a day. It's available, as we shared. It's available on YouTube. It's available on our Facebook group. It's available in your email inbox. It's available everywhere. You can do it on a phone. You can do it on a tablet. You can do it on your TV. You can do it on your computer. So with the wide range of options now, all of a sudden, the ways in which we might have been saying I can't before are now suddenly gone, right? There's accessibility. There are different ways that you can do this. What's important to know from here is that it can be accessible virtually. That's one thing. It's another thing to be able to show up and actually do the practice at home. And this is where we can run into a lot of stuff. A lot of our personal stuff, a lot of like dynamics within our families. If you have young kids, it can feel really hard, or even pets. Let's be real. Even our pets it can be really hard to feel like you have any privacy or ability to be on your own. And when it is that way, it can also be challenging, right? Maybe you have a smaller space. I, for years, lived in a small space. My husband and I are city dwellers at heart, and so even when we moved out to the burbs, we still kept a smaller space because we really enjoyed just like that feeling of closeness. And then we had 2 kids, and they were little, and there was toys strewn about everywhere, and I can't tell you how many times I just had a moment where I was like, I don't care if there's toys all over the floor and the kitchen is a mess and the laundry needs to be done and I would throw my kid on a tablet and I would find a spot on the floor, and I didn't even care if I had a yoga mat. I would just do a handful of poses and just breathe. And today my practice looks like a variety of things. I am able to definitely concentrate more. I've built off of that habit, and I'm now able to do like a full 15 to 20 minute practice, which is what I usually do every day. If I do other classes, then I add those to the list, but every day I do at least like 15 minutes in the morning right after I get up. When I wake up in the morning, this is what I'm dealing with. When I wake up in the morning, usually I'm woken up by my kids, and at this point I have an early riser. And we have a rule that you're not supposed to wake your parents up before 6 a.m. Now, that being said, we've been getting up at like 5:15, 5:30 every day. My daughter doesn't go to preschool until 9 a.m. So I've got basically like half a day, a 4 hour period in between, like when my kids wake up, when I wake up, and when my daughter goes to school. I love long, luxurious mornings. And so one of the adaptations I've made in order to bring yoga into my life is by getting to bed a lot earlier. And basically just going to bed at like 9, 10 p.m. And then when my kids wake me up in the morning, I'm able to get up. Sometimes I'll linger a bit in bed, but I get to have these long, luxurious mornings. As soon as I'm out of bed, the dog needs me, the cat bothers me, the early riser needs breakfast. And so I have a handful of things that I have to get done before I can kind of be at peace and be able to move my body. But the commitment is there. And I think having this 15 minutes is such an attainable amount of time that I'm able to carve that out. And I say, if I get to 5 minutes, I've done a great job. If I get to 10 minutes, that's even better. If I get to 15, man, I've made it. But when I start with, as long as I can arrive there, I'll do this, and that being the goal, then as I am getting all the things done that I need to get done, the obstacles in my way to get to the mat, I have this reason to get to the mat, and I'll tell you, it changes the way, changes how quickly I'm able to get things done. It changes my commitment to like making sure everyone else is served so that I can serve me, and it also gives me that checkbox to say, I got this done and I'm super, super happy I did. And now I can move on with my day. And I notice a huge difference in my body. So for me, I have now this routine in the morning. It happens 7 days a week, not five. My kids get up 5:15, 5:30 every single day of the week. Sometimes we get to sleep until 6. That's a big deal. But I will say, I think we tried to sleep in until 7 a.m. yesterday. It was a Sunday morning. Um, and my son was like, "You two are the laziest parents," because we were sleeping until 7 a.m. on a Sunday morning. So that's what that's what I'm working with. For you, your schedule might be really different, but I would still encourage you to look at your morning routine and see if maybe you can just set your alarm for 15 minutes earlier and then try to sneak the practice in with your routines, but like really try to just like crunch it in and try to get it in first thing in the morning, and then it's done. Another way in which you can bring daily practice into your life in these like 15-minute segments is to attach it to, like I said, a routine or a habit. It doesn't have to be first thing in the morning. This could be lunch. You could say every day right before lunch, I'm going to move my body, or every day right after lunch, I'm going to do a little bit of self-care to help my body digest the food that I just ate and take care of me. All of those are great ways in which to kind of like bring the daily practice into something that you do every day, which is usually lunch. Um, or, maybe this is your wind down routine. So it's the thing that you do at the end of the day, after you do your thing. If you have kids, they're in bed. If you have an evening like after dinner routine, that's all done. And then you have this 15-minute window that you bring into your day as a way to wind down, to get off screens. We know that we need, in order to have good quality sleep, spending time off of screens is really important before you get to sleep. So for me, that means turning off all the devices and putting on some music and using this as my wind down routine to kind of shut out the world, clear my head. Usually if I do an end of the day practice, it looks like me having a notebook handy because all the thoughts come down and I have to like write it all out. I'm a list maker. I love making lists, and for some reason that end of day ends up being a really busy active time in my brain, and so by writing out the list and doing a little bit of practice, that helps me clear my head so I can get to bed and sleep better. So those are the ways in which we can kind of like stack in some habits and kind of integrate, right, the practice into our daily lives and into our daily practice. I would love to hear from you. What do you do in your daily habits and routines to bring practice into your life? Many of you I know are the 6:30 a.m. crew or the 9 a.m. crew, and we have a lot of those who are just, it's what they do every day. They get to their live classes first thing in the morning or in the middle of the morning. They get it in, that's what they do, and then that's it. And what's so great about that, again, is like you have it off your plate for the rest of the day. I, for many, many years, was the reverse, and I loved looking forward to yoga at the end of the day. I loved it at the end of the day because I knew I could push myself a little bit harder. And because I was pushing myself harder, I was able to after class, really, one, improve faster and like, build up my practice faster, but I was also able to be able to get into like to the point where I could just go and rest after class, and I slept really, really well that way. So those are all the ways in which I like to bring yoga into my daily practice, or ways I've done it in the past. And again, I would love to hear from you. How do you bring in daily practice into your lives? How do you, what are the ways in which yoga can more easily integrate into a habit or routine that you already have in place? You can comment below. You can send us a quick message. You can, there's a variety of ways you can answer. You can reply to the email from today. I would love to hear what you do and how you bring it into your life. And I think sharing that also really helps everybody else who is looking to build this habit and maybe needs a little bit of extra support to get there. So be well. I can't wait to hear from you. See you all soon. I'll see you again here tomorrow. If you have any questions, if there are any poses that you would like me to break down or offer adaptations for, if you would like any alternatives or some sweet stuff on top of it, you can share that with me. You can post below again, or you can contact us through the email, and we will add those to our list for this week. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, Yogi. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you again tomorrow.